Welcome to CBT News with Bridget Fitzpatrick.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to CBT News. I'm Bridget Fitzpatrick. Thank you so much for joining us today. Here's Chris Riggins with today's top stories.
Thanks, Bridget. Ford Motor Company is making significant moves to win a larger share of the EV market. However, the automaker has not lost sight of its popular gas-powered models. Yesterday, Ford unveiled the new F-150 Raptor R. The new F-150 will have a 5.2-liter V8 engine with 700 horsepower, and prices will start at $109,145. This introduction is the result of customer demand to produce a V8 engine Raptor model. Production is set to begin this fall. Hyundai, on the other hand, is doubling down on EVs and unveiled two in-brand performance EV concepts ahead of the Ioniq 5 in launch, the RN22E and N Vision 74. The body of the RN22E is inspired by the recently announced Ioniq 6 and utilizes Hyundai's groundbreaking electric global modular platform, or E-GMP. The N Vision 74 model will be a high-performance hydrogen fuel cell hybrid vehicle. Both vehicles will serve as, quote, rolling labs to test and validate the company's cutting-edge technologies before incorporating them into upcoming production models. According to a recent report from Reuters, a judge will hear arguments today regarding Twitter's request for a September trial in its lawsuit against Tesla CEO Elon Musk. However, Musk and his legal team have now requested the court delay his trial. The filing of an extension would push the trial back to at least February 2023. The decision on whether or not this case will be extended takes place this week. In other Tesla news, according to banking institution Barclays, Tesla's Bitcoin holdings may have significantly reduced the electric car maker's expected earnings. Bitcoin prices have fallen recently as a result of investors moving away from risky ventures due to growing inflation and fears of global downturn. The digital currency stood above 22,000 on Monday after beginning the year at over 47,000. Analyst Brian Johnson predicted that Tesla will disclose an impairment related to Bitcoin of about $460 million. Today on Inside Automotive, we're pleased to welcome back Ryan Kerrigan, Managing Director of Kerrigan Advisors, who shares his insight and expertise on the current state of the buy-sell market. Check it out.
So what's new in the transaction market?
Well, it's really a continued conversation about real strength in the buy-sell market. We continue to see it. You and I were just chatting a moment ago about closing some deals in the South. We continue to be very, very active in the Southeast. Just for whatever reason, that just seems to where a tremendous amount of energy is right now. We've had a chance to announce transactions in Florida in particular. So I've got the Southeast on my mind at the moment, but certainly it's a national phenomenon and things are very, very active.
Yeah, we hear so much about Florida, and as you know, I became a resident of Florida in the last year, and seems like there's a lot of people moving down there for a multitude of different reasons. But does Florida still stick out as a hot spot for M&A activity for dealerships?
Yes, it absolutely does. It is. There are other good markets, clearly, Texas and Arizona, for example. But Florida is just that perfect combination. In COVID, they had a couple 100,000 people move in, generally pretty high income folks from the Northeast. You've got very favorable franchise law, favorable business environment, and that remains certainly the most active market in our mind. It's certainly one of the most attractive. Texas shares many of those attributes. There just frankly haven't been quite as many opportunities to buy in Texas. Something about the Florida market, there's just been more transaction activity there.
Sure. So with all that we hear about in, with regard to the chip shortage and such, and also used cars, that combined with inflation and gas prices and some lightning, if you will, in terms of demand out there. Any sign of profit levels starting to fall among
interestingly, no. I mean, just when you think it can't get better, there's no official data out yet, but in our conversations with dealers, Q2, which we just wrapped up in 2022, was a record quarter for profitability for the dealers that we're talking to. I think the national trends will reflect that. And it's hard to imagine improving upon what happened in 2021, but for the moment, profits are tracking ahead here in 2022.
So disregard all of the talk of that we hear about rising interest rates and recession. It's just not even. It's almost like retail automotive is in this bubble.
Yeah, for the moment, that's exactly right. We kind of are in a interesting point where the pent-up demand for cars is just outpacing some of these other headwinds.
All right, be sure to watch this interview in its entirety right here at cbtnews.com. That wraps up our show for today, but we invite you to join us back here again tomorrow morning for all the latest news and trends impacting the retail automotive industry. And of course, be sure to follow us on TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm Bridget Fitzpatrick. Thanks for watching and have a great day.
Thanks for watching CBT News, the voice of the retail automotive industry.